All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldst thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldst take hold of this, yea, also from this withdraw not thine hand. For he that feareth God shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man upon earth that doeth good, and sinneth not. Also take no heed unto all the words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied mine heart to know and to search, and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness.
Shalom, all praise, glory, honor, and fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash, that belongs to the elders, and citation to the election, the real house of David, the few men that still left standing, and keeping it in integrity and lifting the banner upon this high mountain, this exalted government, this very haughty, rich, wealthy government. And you know, when you go into like I was doing that video on the Anchorman with Will Ferrell, a lot of guys are like that in this truth, where, like, you know, once they're live or Death Stream comes on, then they're like, oh, you know, Ron Burgundy's on, everyone shut up, you know, listen what they have to say. This is God speaking, but see, really, Yahushua is not speaking through them. And this is why a lot of these guys are loved, are famed, are praised, are exalted upon these high seats. But see, Satan, he gave them that high seat, and they bow down to Satan. They didn't pass the tempter, right? The devil, like in Matthew 4. Satan told Yahushua, just bow down and I'll give you all this that you can see. Just worship me. And that's what they've taken. They've taken that back. Luke 6:24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. And that's what's happened. They've received their consolation, which is their reward. The lust of the flesh, you know, whatever they want. And that word consolation is a right, that word consolation is a comfort. So they're actually not comforted by this world. They're actually discomforted by this word. And they have their comfort in this world. This world actually comforts them. The things of this world, speaking things of this world, because they're of the world, therefore the world heareth them. Matthew 5:3 says, and see, we're on the contrary. We're poor. We're despised. And you know, yeah, we have our daily bread. We have jobs and the that and third. But guys, they actually have sold out for Satan with Esau, where that they don't even have to work. You really have to question, guys, man. What is it that they do for work? The scriptures say we are to labor with our hands, you know, an honest living. The guys are very dishonest, man. They're very dishonest and very crafty and very demonic. And, you know, we're poor in this world. Like the Lord said, he's close to those that have a contrite spirit, which is a broken spirit. And we're being crushed in this place, you see. But we're enduring, and we're keeping packed together, right, because of Yahushua, you see. It says Matthew 5:3 says, blessed are the, verse 2, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. So we're comforting one another with these words. And like the brother was on the Raw last night in the live in the stream, and he was asking some sincere questions, and that's good. You see, if you never ask questions, then you're never gonna get the answer. You're never gonna learn. You know, and it was sincere. You know, and that's what we're facing with right now. Is guys, they've actually ran after the gift of Balaam, the reward of their own corruption. Sirach 13 and verse 21 says, a rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man, like we just read, what Yahushua say in Matthew 5:3, Blessed are you poor, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. This world ain't ours. This world is going to mock us, disregard us, not acknowledge us, right? Disrespect and ignore what we're saying. You see? But Lord, He's listening to everything we say. And our word, and when we teach, it's with power. So everything we say, the Lord's with it. Says, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. You see? And that's one of the worst things, is when a friend is turned into an enemy. And a lot of guys, they've actually turned into that. They've turned into enemies of the cross. They're no longer giving the sacrifice of praise of their mouth. They're actually blaspheming. There's guile found in their mouth. Subterfuge, like Korah be saying. Psalms 88 and verse 15. I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer thy terrors, I am distracted. Thy fierce wrath goeth over me. Thy terrors have cut me off. They came round about me daily like water. Right? The wicked is like the troubled sea, whose water is cast up mire and dirt. Their water is dirty. You know? It's poison. It's defiled. It's plagued. It's, it says, they compass me about together. Lover and friend hast thou put far from me, and mine acquaintance into darkness. So a lot of our people, right, men that used to be with us in this truth, the Lord has put them into darkness, man. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's what's happened with a lot of guys, unfortunately. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And have we become your enemy because we tell the truth? And that's what we're all about. We're all about the truth. No matter whose feeling it hurts or who gets offended. It is what it is. Family members, other brothers in camp, in our camp. You see, we tell it how it is. Because what is the truth going to do? It's going to what? Set you free if you accept it. If you accept it for what it is. But if you fight against it, guess what? You're fighting against a battle that you cannot win. Sirach 13:22. When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. And you see all these famous and rich, and these guys are exalted. When they start to fall, everyone's helping them up. Oh yeah, no, you're right. No, it's okay. You're gonna be fine. See, just like them 400 false prophets, the Lord put that deceiving spirit in their mouth. In the time of Micah, right? He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. And we go to Luke 16:15, it says, yea are those that justify yourselves amongst men, but are an abomination to the Lord. You see, you justify yourselves amongst each other. It says, and yet men justify him. The poor man slipped. And like it says in Sirach as well, there is a man that slippeth with his tongue, but not from the heart. So we might, mess up with a word, or we might say something wrong, right? But check this out. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spake wisely and could have no place. So if you're truly in the Lord and you have the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, then you're not going to have no place amongst this world or amongst certain camps, big camps. Because the bigger the camp, the bigger the legions. That's how it is. The Lord is amongst a few. Lord said where 2 or 3 is gathered, he's in the midst of that. Okay? Sirach 13:23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds, right? They re-upload the video. They share it amongst everybody. All social media, it's everywhere. It goes far and wide. It says, look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? Like, who the hell is this guy? Who does he think he is? You see, he's not in my camp. You see, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. You see, and that's how demonic this society has become, and guys in this truth have become. You see, Proverbs 19 and verse 4. Wealth. Let me start at verse 1. It says 19:1, Proverbs. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity. You see? Than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. A lot of guys are perverting the gospel and they are accursed. And like when you read Deuteronomy 28, read the curses, man. All those curses are cleaving on to the wicked, man. It Says also, seeking, like the Lord said in Proverbs as well, the curse of the wicked, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. Not just Esau is wicked, also our own people. Among my people is found wicked men. They lay snares. Come on, man. Says also that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of a man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. So we're being set apart. We're being holy from these false brethren, man. We're being separated, taken away, set aside. You see? And these guys are so reprobate in that they think that they're righteous. And when you go to Isaiah and also in the book of Kings and also Judges, well, there was always time with the prophets of Baal, they would find themselves together in a large a quantity, like all in the house together. But that was for their destruction. Elijah said, hey, don't let any of them leave. You know what I'm saying? Also in the time of Judges, another situation happened where, you know, they thought that, yeah, don't let any of the prophets of the Lord come in here. It's only us here. But they all got destroyed together in that house, you see? Isaiah 65:5, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day. And it's not a righteous fire, it's a strange fire. Which the Lord is not with the strange fire. You see? Ecclesiastes 9:16. And it's heavy too, because like, I'm going to bring this precept out, but like the Lord, he's really with the lowly, man. That's who he's honored of. But of you guys that are exalted in high seats, you know, everyone loves you and speaks well of you, you're a false prophet, bro. All you guys, man. It doesn't matter what camp you may be in. And how much men justify you and have respected persons of you. You see? Adam Abbott, GMS, Sakari, ICPK, all you guys, man. The list goes on. And if someone's not right amongst us, then guess what? We call it out. And then the Spirit sifts it off and cuts it off. It says, Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 15. Now, there was found in it, verse 14. It says, there was a little city and few men within it. You see, not a lot. And there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. And that's what's happening. The king of this world, right? The prince of the power of the air, Satan, right? Those that crown themselves and, you know, so on and so forth. They're coming against us with great bulwarks. You know what I'm saying? Flagging our channels, disliking our videos, hating on us, snitching on us, sending fake men and fake sisters to us, you know, to spy our liberty that we have in Yahushai. Says now there was found in it a poor wise man. Now, who's found amongst us is Yahushai. He's that poor wise man. And like the Lord said in Corinthians, though he was very wealthy, you know, his father Joseph was a what's the word? Not a contractor. Yeah, he dealt with building like houses and stuff like that. You know, he made himself poor so that we through him could be rich. You see that the true riches would be understood. What true riches are, which is the word and the spirit, things you can't see. The eternal thing says. Matter of fact, let me see that precept. Yeah, the carpenter. Joseph was a carpenter. When you go to Corinthians, right? He was made poor, man. And he took the low route. And he showed us which way to take. He said, don't seek the high seats. 2 Corinthians 8:9. For ye know the grace of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, that though he was rich, because what the Lord saying Zephaniah, the silver is mine and the gold is mine, saith the Lord. And everything that is the Father has given to the Son. Says that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor. You see, he lowered himself. And that's who power is given. Power is only given to those that are willing to lower themselves to pick it up. Says that yea, through his poverty might be rich. Whew. You see, Ecclesiastes 9 in verse 15. Says, now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man. You see? And that's why the only ones we're stirring up, right, the pure minds, is those that can remember. You see? Those that rather remember. Like Simba and Lion King, remember. He hit the water. He had to hit his head. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we use this word. We hit your head with this word. You know, like this word's a weapon, man. A lot of guys, they think it's like, a lot of guys are in like a Christianity like spirit. Oh, love. Oh, why are you hating? Why you hate you? Like, no, man. The Lord said He hates all the evildoers. He will not spare no sinner. See, and that's what the Lord is doing right now through us. He's not sparing none. He's not holding anything back right now. Everything's being brought out to light. It says, Ecclesiastes 9:15 says, 16 says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. You see that? And that's why Yahushua said they have ears, but hearing not, they cannot hear. They're deaf, they're blind. You see, they don't have them faculties of the seventh senses. They're not complete in Yahushua. They're partial. They're found wanting. 1 Corinthians 1:26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God hath chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, and God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound things which are mighty, and base things of the world, you see, low things, and things which are despised, you see. So when you're despised, Lord's going to use you to confound dudes that are on high, that are mighty, that are rich, that are carnal, that are exalted. It says, hath God chosen, the things which are not. You see, we don't even exist. We're dead to this world, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should glory in His presence, you see. So no flesh is going to have glory in the Lord. Only those that are in the Spirit are going to have the glory in the Lord. Mark 6:1, and He went out from thence and came into His own country, and His disciples follow Him. Right, and that's what we do. You know, like the brother was asking the other night, well, who do I follow? Well, follow the Spirit, my man. Follow the Spirit, which the Spirit is like the wind. You don't know where it's going, where it's coming. Right, and just as Paul, he said, follow Him as he follows Yahushua. So you have to follow men. Doesn't mean you have to like walk behind them and have to like take on their title, their camp, or their name, but you follow what they're doing. You take heed. You take heed. Mark 6:2. And when the Sabbath day was come, He began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing Him were astonished. See, when you're a true teacher of the Lord, people, not just outside of the truth, that don't know what's going on, but also guys in the truth that are masters and lawyers of the law, they're going to be astonished at what you say, which is that word astonished basically means to be very surprised. Like, oh my gosh, how can you say that? That's how the truth is supposed to come out. It says, saying, from whence hath this man these things, and what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is not this a carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and of Judah and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at Him. You see that? So just like they was offended at Yahushua, because He had such mighty works, and He had the wisdom that they didn't really have, and they didn't understand Him, they were offended. They were upset. They were mad. It says, but Yahushua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and in his own house. So, guys, it's crazy, bro. So what Yahushua is breaking out right there in verse 4 is like, guys, in such high honors here in this country, in this kingdom, then guess what? This is your house. You've made your bed here. You're comfortable here. This is your home. You know what I'm saying? But the true men of the Lord, we don't have a place to even rest our heads. We barely have time to even eat our bread. You see, because we put the Lord first, how it's supposed to be done. You see? And everything else comes after. That's how the order is. 1 Samuel 3:2. And it came to pass at that time when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. You see? So Eli, when he was getting old, right, he started not being able to see. He started to go blind. And that's what's happened to guys in this truth, to elders and stuff like that. They've gone dim. Their light is going out. So the light is being transferred to those that have the light, like the talents. You see, and then when you go into that chapter, 1 Samuel 3, this is when the Lord called to Samuel. He made that call to Samuel. Sirach 32 in verse 1 says, if thou be made the master of a feast, lift not thyself up. And just like Yahushua, he was a master of the feast. He said, you call me master and so I am, right? And he humbled himself, man. You see, he didn't lift up himself. When they wanted to make him king, he departed, man. He left. It says, but be among them as one of the rest. You see? It says, take diligent care for them, and so sit down. And when thou hast done all thy office, take thy place, that thou mayest be married with them, and receive a crown for thy well ordering of the feast. Speak thou that art the elder, for it becometh thee, but with sound judgment, and hinder not music. So guys, they're hindering music. Only the virgins, only if you're a virgin, if you're pure, you can sing the song. And they have sound judgment. We have a sound mind, But the sinners in Zion, they're afraid, They're fearful, unbelieving. Unto every good work reprobate, right? It says, pour not out words where there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time. So you can't show forth wisdom out of time. And a lot of guys, it's at time's running out for a lot of people, because that's what wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And like when we read into Ecclesiastes 9, right, the poor man's wisdom that was despised, it actually delivered that little city, you see. And we're that little city. We're New Jerusalem. When you go to, I think it's Proverbs. Ecclesiastes 1:18, for much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So it comes with the territory. If you increase in the wisdom and you increase in the spirit, then guess what? You're going to decrease in the flesh. It's just what it is, man. You can't be a servant of two masters. Ecclesiastes 9 in verse Jeremiah 8:9, the wise men are ashamed, they are dismayed and taken. Lo, they have rejected the word of the Lord, and what wisdom is in them, right? And the only wisdom in them is the wisdom of the flesh, of the things you can see. Like the astrologers, the stargazers, Proverbs 10:13, in the lips of him that hath understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. So the Lord got that rod ready to hit, ready to punish our people. You see? And that's what wisdom causes you to excel in strength, you see? Wisdom makes you stronger than 10 wise men. Sirach 51:12, for thou savest me from destruction, and deliverest me from the evil time. Therefore I give thanks and praise thee, and bless thy name, O Lord. So that's what we're doing. The Lord deliver us from this time. Because wisdom, let me get this in Wisdom Psalm. Wisdom Psalm in 10 and 9, it says, but wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. So that's why the Lord said, fear hath torment. If you're not made perfect in love, which love is, the greatest act of love is laying down your life for your brethren, feeding the sheep, being a sacrifice, being that example of Yahushua, him increasing in your life and you decreasing. There's no pain, there's no torment, And wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. So this is what's going to get us through these times. Wisdom Psalm 16 verse 20 says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And you can't compare this wisdom to anything else. You see, it's above everything. Isaiah 49:23, and kings. And I'm gonna go into this because Adam Adabi, all these other camps, you got Edomites and stuff looking their goddamn Nike boot, which they're carnal, so they look at they only see the only thing they look to for prophecy be filled is carnally. They don't look at anything spiritually, or they can't really see the kingdom. They can't see it far off. They can only see now. That's why they're doing it now. You see, they've lost patience. It says Isaiah 49:23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face to the earth, and look up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. So what's happening is guys have lost patience. They're no longer waiting for the Lord, and they're ashamed of Yahushua and the gospel. So they're using this word for their own vendetta. You see? John 12:43, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. And that's why they don't have the praise of the Lord in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. They've gone dull. You see? They love the praise of men. They love people worshiping them on their knees to them, man. It's obvious, man. Look at the camera. Look at the pictures. The evidence is right there. You see? This is Micah 7:17. I'm sorry, verse 16 says, the nations that shall see and be confounded at all their might, because Lord said, be strong in the power and the Lord of his might, not our own. Says, they shall lay their hand upon their mouth, their ears shall be deaf. So that's what's happened to a lot of people, not just the nations, the heathens, but also our own people. The ears have become deaf. They can't hear. They won't listen, you see, to true doctrine, to true reproof, exhortation, all long suffering, you see. That's why they're not continuing in the doctrine. It says, they shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of the Lord our God and shall fear because of thee. And that's happened also to our people, Isaiah 33:14. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites. You see, astonished. Because they thought that he was an ordinary man, or we're just gonna, speak evil of them and come against them, and then act like we didn't do anything, like we're not guilty, we're not in a transgression. You see, so a lot of guys are giving off a very wicked, evil sacrifice, man, which the Lord's not accepting. But the prayer of the righteous and the poor lowly is piercing the clouds, and the Lord, it's like a sweet savor to the Lord. All praise, glory, honor, and faith, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You better stay strong. And, just stay grounded and stay humble. Hey, Shalom. Death to all the enemies.